Hello, good morning and welcome to the channel. We are heading up to Home Bargains to get stocked up on... The tyre must be needing air. So pulling way over to the left. Yeah. I did suspect that maybe it was going flat. Yeah, it seems pretty bad. Jesus. I've got a pump in there. Oh, aye. Normally I take a pump. Yeah, it's there. Right, what I've been dealing with this morning in my head, because I process information, well, we all do, but what I've been dealing with is, this is pathetic when I say this, conversations from Monday. I think this is part of the Asperger's thing, and this is why men with Asperger's are generally, they are vulnerable from narcissistic women. So the problem is that narcissistic women are sort of normal. So it's normal for a woman to be narcissistic. So the problem with dealing with that is that they are all like that. That's why you sort of older men kind of ignore women, you know, because when they're younger they're needing their hole and that, so they put up with all sorts of weird behaviour from women. But the older men, so on Monday I was at a meeting which is supposed to help my mental health, and there's a woman there, and I'm like, okay, so she's like, so when people are saying things, you've got to work out what's it for, and I worked out what it's for. It's taken me 2 days. Now the problem I've got is that how do you respond to people? And what this woman did was she attacked my appearance about 3 times or something, which doesn't seem, it doesn't seem like a big deal. It was, but I've realised what it is. It took me 2 days. She's jealous, and she actually used that word, jealous. She accused me of being jealous, and she's got a lot of what the fuck is going on here? What in the name of Burt Reynolds is going on here? You know, we've all got to get to work. So, you know, how long have you lived there? You know. So, this woman, and I don't think I should really take it too personally, because I think she's just a general bitch. You know, and unfortunately they've given her a role as a volunteer to help people with mental health problems. And so I don't want to, like, I've had trouble with her a few times since she started there. I don't want to be the one, you know. So basically I decided just to sort of just cope with her, you know, like, and not be the one that gets rid of her, so to speak, you know. But I could, but why would you bother doing that? You know, but it's like, I think, well, why don't you help her deal with her toxic childhood traumas? Well, I can't, because she doesn't want to deal with them. She just wants to offload them on everybody else, and that's her narrative. It's not my, you know. That's what she's doing. She's a damaged person. She actually admitted she had mental health problems. So they've given us a woman who's got mental health problems. But you could say, well, that's a good idea. At least, like, if they get somebody who's got mental health problems, do they understand what we're going through? Well, no, because as somebody who's helping people, so you're in a counselling role, a volunteer to help people. It's no good if you're shaming people or playing like manipulative games. And a classic thing she does is she buys us. She'll ferry people around in her car and stuff. and she'll buy stuff, pay for things, which is it kind of makes it difficult for you to dump the narcissist when they're doing that to you. If they're paying for things, yeah, I find it difficult, yeah. But basically, I sort of try to just keep a calm sort of thing on it. I fell out with her quite badly. She was pushing that feminist stuff. The first time she was there. That's sort of, she was doing the externalisation thing when she wanted to save all the women in India, you know. Yeah, we'll stick to what's manageable. So it's interesting, but it's like it doesn't really matter, and it's like she's a typical woman, I suppose. But the other ladies have noticed it as well. Is the other thing. I think, yeah, the other ones, when I fell out of her, they stayed quiet, and that they did not join in with. And that was an indication that they agreed with what I was saying. So it's like in a group setting. So being in a group setting with women, if you're not a woman, is treacherous, you know. So, but I seem to, mainly because they're decent people. The majority of them, they've just got problems and that, you know. And I think they're all right, and that's the end of the day. But this one's she's like a predator. I would say, yeah, she's like a predator that's been put in there, and she's got her own issues. She doesn't seem to want to deal with them. So that she'd fight. She'd kick, scream, and fight, metaphorically, if you tried to expose her to her own feelings. And mind me, my sister was a bad example. I mean, I was watching a video yesterday about some of the plane crashes in America, being women pilots, and you know, I mean, without really being too flippant about it, there's a lot of comments about women not listening to men, and that's some kind of feminist thing. Well, why should they be told what to do? But that's two serious air accidents in the US. But you could also say, well, men don't listen to other men, or, you know. So I'm not really sure about that. So it has to be scientifically proven, but it certainly kind of looks like that. Well, the DEI thing, where people are given jobs for diversity and equality rather than for actually being really good at what they do, you know, is the issue. So, right. So it's been just sort of bothering me a wee bit this morning, but I do that. I go over things after they happen, and it's part of the Asperger's thing. I think it's an obsessive thing. So I waste my energies on things that don't matter. I mean, or maybe it's a survival. You know, it's a survival technique. So I know that woman hates me. She does, and she wants me dead. And that's not an overreaction, and that's not my problem. It's her problem. And it's not unusual either. A lot of women hate me, so a lot of women hate other women, and a lot of them hate men as well. So it's a very sort of, that's why it's a catcalling thing, you know. And that's kind of like how they rock, I suppose. Meanwhile, her man's away earning money. Right, that's how it works. She's spending, he's earning. I mean, she doesn't have a fucking job, does she? She's a volunteer. You know? Lives in a fucking upper middle class area, you know. That's why she's jealous of me. She is fucking jealous because she can see, because well, you just don't know when you meet people. You don't fucking know. There's all sorts of people go to these groups, all sorts, you know. There's all sorts. I think what's happened is there's an entitlement. There's feminism, new age feminism gave this entitlement that these women demanded that they would have 4 circles. 4 fucking circles, right? And at a BMW and all that, when they should be having children, you know, and that's for fulfillment. So for proper fulfillment, family and children. At the end of the day, Audis, BMWs, and all the detached houses you like, they don't make you happy. I don't think so. But there we go, we've been going over that quite a while, so thanks for watching, bye.